Edgeoffate is out, and with it comes a slew of new weapons and exotics for me to talk about. One of these is Graviton Spike, a 150 arc exotic handcannon. One of the first new ones in a while, especially a 150, and it's great. It is obtained from a quest at the end of the Kepler campaign and is fairly easy, as it basically just requires you to go collect a bunch of debris from across the map and also complete a run of the sieve, which is another new activity that is similar to the one from Season of the Arrivals if you were around for that. So onto the weapon. Graviton Spike's primary perk is called Temporal Manipulation, a special reload which allows you to switch between a 150 RPM arc mode and a 100 RPM stasis mode. These are then buffed by its secondary perk, Temporal Anomaly, where final blows and precision hits will overcharge the opposite mode. So, 3 precision hits on arc will overcharge stasis and vice versa. Overcharging stasis will cause it to make an explosion, increasing its damage, and it also spawns stasis crystals to the side of the enemy. The arc overcharge will then cause it to proc lightning strikes, similar to bolt charge. It is also a craftable weapon, meaning you can fix the pitiful base stats of 40 range, 55 stability, 60 handling, 50 reload speed, 86 aim assist, and 18 AE. If you plan on using it in PvE, go for high reload and stability. In other words, just use arrowhead, darts, connect, and smooth grip. In PvP, I would say to go for decent range and stability. I personally use small ball, accurized, and smooth grip. You can get up to 72 range exactly, which I believe is decent, but at the same time, when small ball gives you 67 range and stability compared to 4 balls 72 range and 50 stability, I would rather pick the stability, as it is probably way more important when you're mainly going to be going against Exalted Truth and Rose. Being a crafted weapon, you will have to go get intrinsic perks as well to unlock the barrel and mag selections, so it will get a stat buff from those as well, which is where the 72 range actually comes from. And it also has catalysts. I wasn't using them in the background gameplay, as frankly the gun is so good it just doesn't even need one, I'll be real. But they are Rapid Hit, Subsistence, Transcendent Zen, a legendary perk which makes it so final blows grant stats based on the weapon's damage type alignment, so light weapons grant stability and handling, whilst dark weapons grant range and aim assist, plus if you're Transcendent you actually get both bonuses from kills. And then its final catalyst is Temporal Alignment, a unique perk where upon overcharging both modes you will gain increased damage. This damage increase is allegedly a 20% buff. So personally I would either use that one or Transcendent Zen, depending on whether you value stats or a 20% damage boost more. As for my actual thoughts on the weapon, in PvE I feel it's decent, although I haven't really used it much as the power grind hasn't really allowed me to. But its main problem from my limited use of it is that the overcharge modes just feel really underpowered in anything with a decent power delta, which is the main way of playing the game right now. But saying this, I was using it without the catalyst, so the damage buff from temporal alignments might actually help it out a lot. In PvP, however, I think it's honestly just the best gun in the game, if you ignore the weapon stat, of course. It is a 150, which for one is inherently enough to make it good, as the slight time to kill shift allows you to duel a lot better. The 100 RPM mode has, I believe, a bit more range than a 120 handcannon, and when overcharged actually 2-taps people. It's got decent stats and can be made better by Transcendent Zen. It's got tons of bullet magnetism and 16 zoom. So if you can actually deal with the high zoom, it's honestly easier to use than a Rose in my opinion, which is a very, very easy to use handcannon. It all basically comes together into making what I feel is the most broken handcannon they've made, and even if it wasn't, I think just it being a 150 makes it good. I'll be honest. I also personally really like the model with it. The sight is really clear, especially with the 16 zoom, and whilst it's not a literal sight, it's very close, and a clean-looking, relatively small model makes it very nice to use, as I personally struggle with keeping track of the reticles and a lot of weapons. So yeah, quick review. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, the usual stuff, and adios.